Action.
Welcome back to my channel, Modest Fashionista. This is Alicia. This is the tan and pearl colored purse that I mentioned in another video. It has a keychain on the side. Yes, this is one keychain. It's a fuzzball. What color is the fuzzball? What do you call that?
The fuzzball?
Yeah, what color is that?
What color is that? Good question.
Would you say tan or pink?
It's a light tannish.
I can't see tan, y'all.
Light tan.
And this is,
Gold.
yeah, gold star.
Yellow gold.
Yellowish gold. The purse is, like I said, a tan color, and it has pearls, and it's in the shape of a star. Okay, yesterday was July 2nd, 2025. Yesterday was a Wednesday. I had an eye appointment with a retina specialist. My glaucoma specialist, she set me up to be seen by a retina specialist in order to have an ultrasound done on my left eye. So he did the ultrasound, and he said that the cornea in my left eye is breaking down. There are different ways the cornea could break down. So I don't really know what that means in my situation. And he also said that he sees debris on the retina. I looked for videos on YouTube about debris on the retina when I got home yesterday, but I couldn't really find any information that talked about it. Instead, I wound up watching videos on macular degeneration. I don't think that's the same thing. I don't really know what debris on the retina means. So, anyway, when I came into this world, I came into this world 25 weeks early. I weighed 13.6 ounces, and I lost a little bit of weight. I dropped down to 11 ounces. I was 10 inches long. I had to stay on oxygen for a whole year. I had to stay in a hospital. I was born in Macon. I had to stay in a hospital in Macon for 4 months before I got to come home. When I finally came home when I was 4 months old, I was about the size of a newborn. So yeah, I was very small. After I turned a year old, I wasn't much bigger actually. I was not much bigger than a newborn. So the amount of oxygen that I had, because when I was in the hospital in Macon, I was on oxygen. I was in an incubator. It detached my retinas. I had bilateral retinopathy prematurity, but they were able to fix the right retina with a scleral buckle. You heard me mention it in another video. I have a scleral buckle in my right eye to hold the retina to the eyeball so that I can have a little bit of vision. They tried to fix the retina in the left eye, but it had already had too much scar tissue from the retinopathy prematurity, so it wouldn't hold. That's why I only have light and shadow perception in my left eye. When people have retinopathy prematurity, it increases their risk of having glaucoma. So that's why I have glaucoma. Sometimes a pupil will form over, sometimes a pupillary membrane, so a membrane will form over the pupil sometimes. That's what happened in my left eye. I have a pupillary membrane over the pupil in my left eye. I have bilateral band keratopathy. So like I said in another video, calcium is good for your bones, but it's not good when it builds up on the corneas because it can blur vision, and if the calcium gets real thick, it can make you feel like you have a lash in your eye, or it can make you feel like you have sand in your eye, even when you really don't. It's very uncomfortable when it builds up too thick. And a lot of times, not in every case, but a lot of times, people with low vision will also have a condition called nystagmus. Some sighted people also get nystagmus, but it's more common in people with low vision or people with blindness. However, you could be totally blind or light perception blind and not have nystagmus. It could happen, but it's more likely to happen if you were blind or low vision. So because I have poor vision, I'm low vision, I have a little bit of nystagmus. Your level of vision does not determine how much or if you will get nystagmus. There's people with more vision than I have that have a much heavier nystagmus. There's people that have less vision than I do that have no nystagmus at all. I don't feel it all the time, but I can feel it. I feel it sometimes. I feel the nystagmus sometimes, but I don't feel it like 24/7. When I feel it, it feels like a movement sensation in my eye sockets. I can actually feel my eyes roll in the eye sockets. There's different kinds of nystagmus. Some people's eyes will shake vertically, up and down. Some people's eyes will shake side to side, like a clock pendulum, or like horizontal. I have a little bit of horizontal nystagmus. Some people's eyes will shake in circles. That's called circular nystagmus. But anyway, the one I deal with is horizontal nystagmus. That's when your eyes shake back and forth, kind of like the movement of clock hand. They move from right to left or left to right. It's uncontrollable. It's involuntary. I can feel it, but I don't feel it 24/7. The first time I remember experiencing nystagmus, even though I probably had it before this time, is when I was in kindergarten. I closed my eyes in the classroom, and another student said, "Why do your eyes do that?" I didn't know how to explain it, and I said, "I don't know, they just do." I don't know, they just do. What it was this other student noticed the nystagmus, and I didn't have a word to describe it to them. So I just said, "They just do." So, yeah. That's basically my eye conditions in a nutshell. Retinopathy prematurity, bilateral retinopathy prematurity, monocular pupillary membrane, bilateral horizontal nystagmus, bilateral glaucoma, bilateral band keratopathy, and you heard me speak about Charles Barnet syndrome. I have it ocularly. I have the pupillary membrane only over the pupil in my left eye, and I experience Charles-Bonnet syndrome only in my right eye. Thank goodness I get breaks. Some people find it interesting or fun, but for me it's always been aggravating. And on a few occasions it's been scary. Or startling, but it's mostly aggravating for me. So I'm so thankful that I'm not part of the group that has it 24/7 with no breaks, non-stop. Thank you for watching my video. Please hit the notification bell and subscribe to my channel.